Hey everyone, TeamMisplayed here with Sound Waves and Fortune Heroes, giving you a little bit of insight about last weekend and the two events that happened. The one we're gonna go into more detail would be the regionals we just went to, which was Anaheim, and we'll give a little bit of insight on the YCS Austin, which is only what we've heard.
Yep.
But anyway. So, what our experiences were for the Anaheim Regionals? Well, both of us, well, actually, our whole team went in with little expectations, and just we were hoping to make it.
My expectations were never that high, so
Yeah. So the decks we were playing, which we'll have profiles up later when we get the chance. Mine's already recorded, but it's probably coming out later. The deck I ran with was my take on mono males.
Gun ran Fire Fists, and I ran Hazy Kings.
Yes. So
Yeah.
with all that being said, let's go into how we did at the tournament. So I went the longest out of all of us, going 7 rounds and went 5-2. And because I lost, I my head was pounding and it was a late night, so I dropped.
Yep. And then I went 2-2, and I was like, last one I'm gonna drop no matter what, because top tier 3 deck can't go very far. Then I went 2-3, and I was like, yep, drop it.
And Gun went. I want to say he went 5-2 and
And three
dropped.
and two.
Oh, 3-2 and dropped. Sorry, he didn't go as far as me.
Yeah, he dropped same time as I did.
But anyways, let's go into some of our matchups. The first 3 rounds, I was undefeated. I faced some Dirac burn deck and heroes and Geargias.
The road decks.
So it was like that the whole day. Round four, I came in and played the mirror match. I could have had won that match, but I misplayed, and when he summoned his Armorion, I didn't activate the Gaios that had face up's effect to negate it, so he couldn't try to equip it to his lead, which is on the field. And if I did that, then I had game next turn. So I lost that round. After that, I played another Geargia player, and I lost count of life points, but I still 2-0'd him. And the next one I played, what did I play after that? What did I play? Oh, I played Macro Rabbit. He never once drew Macro on me in all 3 games we went, and I 2-1'd him. I won the first match by just OTKing. Second match, he had Thunder King on board, and he just beat me down. And third match, it was just OTK once again. And then the final, how many did I say already?
Not sure.
I I think this was my final match, but my final match would be against the Dark Worlds, and I got 2-0'd, and that was my final loss of the night, and I just dropped from there because my head was pounding. It was a late night, and I felt I had a really low chance of actually topping. But yeah, that's my experience. I met a lot of good players. A lot of them gave me props for my play style. I had a couple players where they were just they got a little bit salty at the end when I started top decking really well. But I think other than that, I met some great people, played some good games, and you know what? I left everything that I could on the table there. So that's my experience.
As for my experience, the opposite side of the spectrum, seeing as I was playing Hazy Kings, I really didn't expect much to begin with, but I thought it was a pretty good experience nonetheless. So now I know what to expect for next time. My first matchup was against Heroes. The bad part was though is that it was against someone that was fairly young and didn't really know how to play it. So I 2-0'd the guy, though it didn't really feel like a win. Afterwards, I actually ended up teaching him a little bit more about Yu-Gi-Oh. Not that I know as much, but you know. And then second matchup was against. Let me think. Hmm. Second match. Oh, yes, that's it. The second matchup was against Dragoonides, and I've never actually played against Dragoonides, so I didn't know what to expect. However, after siding pretty well against them, getting chain disappearance on them, killed them, killed their deck, and they went into overtime, and I just won with more life points. Third matchup was against Heroes, and that was yeah, they had answers for everything pretty much. Tons of traps, very trap heavy deck, and I couldn't really get very much off that. Then I believe this would be my final match. If not, sorry, that would be Rabbits with Tenki
Mm.
and or windups. I'm sorry, windups with Tenki, and that one was. I felt like if I played, I felt like if I concentrated, played a little bit better, at that point, something could have changed. Could have changed the game, and I could have, I could have won that game. But you know what? The thing about this is that if you don't start concentrating, you kind of lose track of what you're going through. So I ended up losing, dropping after that.
All right. So as far as the tournament went, in my opinion, we all did as good as we actually thought we were. At one point, I felt like I was had the best chance of topping out of all of us because uh, Gun went. He went 1-1 when me and Soundwaves were both 2-0.
So
What
I felt like that
else?
kind of killed his morale because his deck
Yeah,
was pretty good.
yeah, he kind of just stopped. Like after he went 1-1, he literally just felt like he couldn't compete anymore. And
So
we
tips for
just
anybody
had,
going there.
yeah. So, but we tried to push him as far as possible. We got him to get to 3-2, but he dropped early because he knew for a fact he was gonna top, and it was fairly early to give an argument, which means like he could have kept going, but he was actually really tired at the time. And it's an excuse, yes, but if you've ever been to one of these, you know for a fact, like if you haven't ate or slept right, you are literally fucked when you're playing in those. But yeah, going over some of the stuff that happened, one thing I regret not doing is siding properly against Dark matchups because once Dark World showed up, that's when my confidence was just destroyed when I got 2-0'd. I couldn't do nothing against the deck. I was stuck top decking because he kept using cards to get rid of all my good cards. I eventually ended up with a hand where I couldn't do anything and I just scooped. And that's how he 2-0'd me. And the other thing that like I keep going through my head is the mirror match. I felt like I could have did a better job in the mirror match, and I screwed up at the end when we were in time. I was down by a couple thousand life points, and if I were to go back and actually do that situation all over, Gaios would have stopped Armiron from trying to equip, and then I would have had game. So that was my experience with that whole tournament. It was the first time we ever went to one, and I feel like we'll be even more better prepared if we go again, which I know we will. It just will be sometime because let's face it, the next decks that are coming out, it's too much for us to handle right now. We're just gonna lay low.
Judgment Day.
We're gonna lay low. We're we're gonna keep covering Yu-Gi-Oh as we are. We're gonna be building our decks. We're gonna have fun matches
Look out
whenever
for
we
deck
can.
profiles.
A lot of deck profiles coming. But aside from being competitive, I think it'll be a format before we come back because we're gonna wait and see what pans out and see if suppressor dragon or elemental dragons become what they are in the OCG. If three-axis fire fist exists over here, and if prophecies pan. Now, the last thing I want to go over is prophecies at that YCS. We saw a lot of them, but the thing is, no prophecy really stood out. And if you look at Galactic Odds Challenge, he took it. He went 3-3, and I give props to him. And I know he doesn't really watch too many like not known channels, but we saw him at the tournament. We didn't like go up to him because we didn't want to bug him and we didn't want to like distract him and stuff. I was literally two tables down from him when he was dueling at one point, and that was the mirror match I was doing. And our mirror match lasted too long for me to actually go up and talk to him. But by his experience, I feel like he played his hardest, and I wish I could have met him. I wish I could have met a lot of the Yugi tubers that were there, but all in all, it was a good event. I had a good time. We may have dropped a little bit more money than we should. We made some money back selling our collection. And don't get me wrong, we still have cards to be trading. So if you're looking for that, we'll have a binder as soon as possible. But right now, we're going through the midst of finding out what the hell we have as far as cards go. Because we got rid of a lot over there. And we feel like some of it was bad trades or sold wrong, but we tried to price as good as possible, and in the end, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, we have a lot of cards, so if you need anything, message us.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, that's our little rant about the that regionals. As you know, both Austin and Anaheim were happening at the same time. Anaheim being the biggest regionals ever, and Austin. Congrats to the monumental player that topped over that won it, and the Fire Fist player that played against him. And congrats to the macro player that won Anaheim and the other people that participated. You guys did good. I wish I could have faced a lot of you, even though we're not really that big. I wish I could just play you so that I can know. But you have anything to add, Summers?
All in all, it was a good experience. Now we know what to do next time. Look out for us when we go big.
Yep. Anyway, guys, that's our little rant. Too bad Gunn wasn't able to be here. We'll give him a little heads up on what's going down. Just be sure to check back. I know we're a little late on the Fire Fist deck or rant that he has, but don't worry, that'll be up as soon as possible. And you know, once again, both were really good tournaments, and I hope to see more people over the time. So that's Team Misplayed. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, and have a good night.